Yo guys, what is going on? Lucky here and welcome to Mythbusters episode 4. So last time you guys suggested a lot of myths that I could test out, so thank you for that. That just makes my life a lot easier. So if you could do that again, that would be highly appreciated. But for now, I'm just gonna say enjoy the video and I'll catch you guys later. Myth number 1. You can ammo rack a tank that's out of ammo. So as you might have remembered from my previous episodes, the T-49 is a tank that gets ammo racked very quickly. So here we are again. I'm shooting at a T-49 with no ammo loaded, and pretty much nothing happens to the ammo rack, as you can see in the Eagle Eyes kill. So just to verify this myth a little bit more, we also tried it out with another tank, which is the Scorpion G. So I'm firing shot after shot straight into the Scorpion's ammo rack with high explosive ammunition. And remember that high explosive ammunition has got way more module damage than AP. So in theory, we should be able to ammo rack the Scorpion very easily, also considering that it has very weak side armor. But yet again, nothing happens to the ammo rack because this Scorpion carries no ammo. So looking back at the test results, we can very safely conclude that this myth is busted, and that it's indeed impossible to get ammo racked while carrying no ammo. So if you are a person who gets frustrated because you get ammo racked all the time, just enter the battle without any ammo and problem solved. Myth number 2. You cannot ammo rack a tank that is underwater. So as you can see, the T-49 already has a damaged ammo rack before going into the water. So it should blow up when I hit it again, but surprisingly it didn't. Which also kinda makes sense though, since there is no way that the T-49's ammo can catch a spark underwater. So yeah, of course we tried it a second time and yet again the ammo doesn't explode. So at the end, I think this myth is confirmed, just because we tested it several more times off camera and none of these times we managed to ammo rack the underwater tank. Also, as an extra, we tested if the T-49 that's not underwater could get ammo racked, and we managed to ammo rack it in pretty much 2 or 3 shots. So if you don't want to get ammo racked but still want to shoot people, I suggest you stay underwater most of the time and your ammo rack will be safe. Myth number 3. You can shoot through gaps in certain tank models. So we tested this myth out on 2 different vehicles, the Scorpion G and the GWE-100, because those tanks tend to have the most prominent gaps in their armor. We also used the STRV-103B for the maximum precision, and the results were quite interesting. So for some reason it was impossible to shoot at the Scorpion G's gap without damaging the tank. But the GWE-100 has another story, because some smaller gaps did damage the tank, but the larger ones in the middle allowed me to shoot straight through it without damaging the tank. So that was in fact quite interesting. So this myth is clearly confirmed, since you can shoot through certain gaps as long as they are big enough. So even if your tank has the worst armor ever, you still might be able to get lucky sometimes and get away without a scratch. Myth number 4. A STRV can launch a tank in the air like a catapult. So before we continue, this myth needs a bit of explanation. Basically, what it means is when you go in siege mode with an STRV and the pressure gun all the way down, the moment when the STRV gets killed, the front flips back to its normal state instantaneously, which should cause a catapult-like effect. But is it enough to launch a tank in the air? Well, let's find it out. So right here my friend set up his STRV with its gun all the way down, and in a moment I'm gonna drive on top of him and thus slowly killing him. So let's see what happens. So as you can see, actually the rear of the tank moved down and the front didn't move up. So that means that it is not actually a catapult effect at all, which means that obviously the tank doesn't fly meters in the air, sadly enough. So at the end there was no STRV catapult and also no flying tank, sadly, so therefore I call this myth busted. But I would love to see that Wargaming changed it in a way that you can actually launch tanks. How awesome would that be, right? So guys, that was pretty much it for this episode. I hope you enjoyed it. If you did, please consider giving it a like. I would highly appreciate it. Also, if you're new, make sure to slap that subscribe button so you won't miss out any of my new content. But for now, I'm just gonna say have an awesome day, and I'll catch you guys later.